And greetings and salvations. I am Moonthoph, Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Eldritch Rants, the show that dares to ask the question, do you really care? To answer this question and many more is our panel of experts, including Cabbage Patch Bastard, whose answer is no, and the Mad Libertarian, whose answer is yes. And of course, he's got a black belt in bullshit. He's the Baron of Blather. The only difference between what he says and nonsense is all in the swagger. It's Farty Von Bunchdank, who can barely hear us according to the internet. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, all good. Thank you very much.
Hey, welcome back here. We're going to be ranting along as usual and just go over topics. It's going to be a bit more serious this week. I didn't find a lot of funny stuff, so we're just going to go in alphabetical order based on how things wound up in the folder, and then we'll just talk at them as they come along. Anything you guys wanted to rant about before we got going, though? Anything stuck in your craw?
Yeah, nobody gave me money so I can go to VidCon. Fuck off. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, what are you, Liz Reptile? Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, don't pull a Liz. Don't pull a Liz, man. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like Liz, but don't pull a Liz.
It was a joke, sir. It was a joke.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Because you're around, Cabbage. Fuck you.
No, well, no, this is a joke. A bloke stumbles out of a pub straight up to a police car, starts pissing on the side of the police car. The copper gets out of the police car and says, "Oi, what the fuck do you think you're doing?" The drunk bloke says to the copper, "I'm keeping the elephants away." And the copper says, "What the fuck is wrong with you? There's no elephants around here." And the drunk bloke says, "Yeah, see, it's working, isn't it?" That's a joke.
That's a joke, son. It's supposed to be laughing.
Yeah, that's technically a joke. Because I says it is.
Any rate, moving on here. Affording Congress an opportunity to address family separation. The most passive-aggressive...
Hang on, you just walked over. You said, is there anyone who's got any ideas? I mean, this...
Oh, did you want to rant about something?
No, I was saying about Brexit, and then he comes up with his fucking Australian horseshit.
Oh, no, he said a joke. Do you want to talk about Brexit? I'm good if you want to start with that.
I gave you plenty of chances to talk.
Fuck you.
Oh, whinging bombs.
No, shove it up your ass.
See, kind of whinging.
I wasn't whinging. I said shove it up your ass. So what do you like?
The panel gets along so well.
Whinge.
Now, anyway, Brexit is going absolutely down the shitter, and they are doing everything they possibly can in order to prevent any opportunity for, you know, the viability of us doing something. They are determined to remove the pound sterling from the international currency market.
Are you kidding me?
Go into the euro. No, that's what they're doing. No, that's the intention. I can guarantee you that.
I doubt the EU is going to be around in 5 years. Holy crap! Are you serious?
No, this is the intention that they have. So, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to undermine the value of the pound sterling. And they I mean, if you look at after the Brexit vote, the pound sterling was damaged. You see, they could only hurt the currency. They couldn't hurt the stock market, because if they hurt the stock market, they'd hurt themselves.
Well, the problem with
currency market.
The problem with these idiots is that they've obviously never been outside of the countries that they were born in, because basically the global currency is, if you go to any other country, it's their currency. Any alternative, you can use the greenback and then the pound sterling and then stiff shit. The euro's not even in the fucking, not even on the bloody.
Okay, I mean, let's be honest here about Merkel. She's on the ropes. Okay.
Merkel is a fucking disaster. I mean,
oh yeah,
she is
and it is. If Merkel goes, Germany goes. If Germany goes, the EU goes. All right, and Germany
look at what's happened with Italy, and you know, I mean,
Austria is going to be the death nail of Merkel.
Poland. Oh yeah, well no, because you got Poland and Czechoslovakia backing them up too.
Oh yeah, Poland, Polish drunk, love my Poles. Oh yeah,
yeah. Poland, Germany, Czechoslovakia, and Austria ganging up together. Yeah, let's see how well that works out for them.
But seriously, like, Merkel's on the ropes politically. I don't know if she can pull this out of her ass, but she's trying. I'll give her that. But one moron would.
Eldritch, one of the most important things, and I really mean this. Things that people have to recognize is if like they said that there was going to be no European army, right? It was all NATO, right? So no European army. Now they want a European army. They said it wasn't going to be one before Brexit.
Oh yeah, I know, but I think the problem is there.
No. You have to understand one fundamental concept. Britain, Britain's got nuclear weapons, right? France has got nuclear weapons. Germany was denied the ability to develop nuclear weapons. So, under the post Second World War agreement, that they were not allowed to have nuclear weapons. A European army, then those nuclear weapons that are in France are effectively in Germany's hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically given Germany nuclear weapons.
Well, yeah, they're winning through peace, but they couldn't win through 2 world wars.
That's an interesting point. I never considered that. I mean, technically speaking, it gets around the treaty, but no, you're right. It does put nuclear weapons under their control.
It does.
That's what I've been saying for ages. Like this whole thing is just World War II, just without shooting any bullets. Like that included them.
Too, mate. And people just don't get it because they can't see, the minutiae of the way that they've been manipulating it. But I mean, this one's blatant.
No, I agree 100%. Although her plans are falling apart really bad. I mean, and...
But the thing is, it's not Merkel's plans. I mean, these are plans which are from people which, Merkel got, provided the funding.
Oh, no, I see your point.
Right?
Yeah. I kind of find it hard to believe she's a pawn, though, in this,
Really? What, you think she's a game changer? You really think that she's the...
Oh, no, I think she imagines she's a game changer. I think she wanted to be a game changer. I don't think she actually succeeded. I don't think there's secret masters behind her. I think she thought she was the secret master, and she sucks at being a secret master.
Well, no, she's a tool for a purpose. I mean, that's the reason that they're going through all of this shit that they're doing. Want this European army? They said before Brexit, they said emphatically that there was going to be no European army, no European force, that it was all about NATO. Once Brexit happened, they immediately reneged on that. And the thing was, even before Brexit, people were saying that was going to happen. I can show you videos of, people saying, "Oh, it's so silly that they're saying that they want a European army." And
oh no, they're gonna get it. Right. However, 2 things that I think are going to interfere with that. One, it's suddenly Donald Trump trying to stir up a trade war with the EU makes a lot more sense to me. Because if you're going to stop them from making an army, you got to hit them where it hurts, and that's in their pocketbook, so they can't afford it. And 2, Donald Trump keeps talking about, you know what, maybe we don't need to be in Europe so much for NATO, which means that they're going to have to pick up the slack a lot. So I'm wondering if he's preempting their desire to build an army by simply making it too expensive.
America doesn't have to really worry about Europe creating an army. We do. Over the fucking border, right? We're the island that actually defended them from 2 world wars and fucking Napoleon. Right?
Oh, I'll tell you this though, America will not.
Right?
America will not let them. If the UK leaves the EU, and the EU says we're going to bring you back in by armed force, that's not happening, and America will stand by you guys.
Yeah, well, you'll wait 3 years and then see how much blood money you can get out of it.
Well, yes, I mean, we'll make a profit off of it. We're mercenaries, but
yeah.
Well, one major fundamental problem with NATO is that it's not needed anymore. It was needed back at the end of World War II and all this kind of stuff, when you had countries that had been bombed to shit that needed to get themselves back on their own 2 feet and needed to be protected while they're doing it.
It's a Marshall Plan, right?
Yeah.
Marshall Plan.
If you look at Europe nowadays, Europe has like the top of the range fucking military equipment. You like Saab, you got Dassault, you got fucking Carl Gustav, you got Rheinmetall, you got fucking all sorts of companies like that, and they're all European, and they've got some of the biggest technologies on the planet. Why the fuck do we need to put men on the ground when they've got the technology to do it themselves? That's a big argument against NATO nowadays. They should be able to look after themselves. Why do we need them?
The problem is that, you know, we've helped them build up this stuff, and now they want to create a European army, and now it's under the control of Germany. And they say, you know, like I said, they said they don't want a European army.
I'm sure they're going. It's a race. It's a race at this point.
No.
It's a race. It's a race between these nationalists and the globalists, and whoever manages to pull off it first wins.
To me is that the idea that they were so adamant that there was no such thing as an idea. You know, there was no policy. There was no idea that this was going to happen. You know, they didn't have any policies in place for this kind of thing to be.
They lied. I mean, that's the bottom line. They lied. They just lied.
I mean, it's a blatant lie. I mean, it's an absolute blatant lie. I mean, how can you?
Hey, Jacob, how's it going?
Look, you cannot trust the Europeans. They've always been fucking duplicitous. They always have been.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who's dealt with the French knows that.
Yeah, that's why we've got a term out here: dirty wogs. Like, they're dirty wogs because you can't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, you're circling around here. Anything new to add? We agree with you 100%.
Bad idea. This whole fucking European army is a bad fucking idea.
It's a bad idea, and I know they want to do it, but I got a feeling it's going to fall through. But we'll have to live and see here.
Yeah, but the important thing is, like I said, it's the fact that if they do join together in that manner, then Germany effectively gets access to French nuclear weapons. You know,
we'll have to see if they can pull it off.
The treaty, right?
Like I said,
So
I'm
now
not seeing it last long enough to pull it off. But anything new to add?
I don't know. The French are fucking duplicitous fuckers. They're willing to go either way if they think it's good for them. Oh, having said that, thank God we got nuclear weapons, so at least we can fire back.
Cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about the French nuking you. After all, they made Godzilla, and I think they learned their lesson.
No, these people don't tend to learn lessons.
It's a movie reference, man. That was a joke.
I understand what you mean. I know. Yeah, but they don't tend to learn any lessons. They really don't.
Alrighty, let's move on here. Okay, hold on one sec. Moving on to affording Congress an opportunity to address family separation, the most passive-aggressive executive order ever signed by a U.S. president. I'll sum it up for you. This is what Donald Trump did. He said, all right, you guys don't want me to separate the children from the parents. I will stop doing that. And he signed into executive order the order to return all illegal immigrant children to their illegal parents. And everybody on the left went, yay, Donald Trump caved, until they read the fine print, which says, without breaking the law, the children will be returned. The children will be returned when the parents have been verified, and the children have to stay with the parents wherever the parents go. And what there was a ruling in 1997, I forget, Ninth Circuit Supreme Circus, said you can't keep illegal immigrant children in jail for more than 20 days. You have to release them. So what Obama was doing was saying, well, we have to release the children, and we can't keep the children without separating from them the parents. So we release the families on their own recognizance and say they should come on back for their asylum, court hearing later, and then they vanish and disappeared. Trump is saying, okay, well, the children stay with the parents no matter what. If the parents go to jail, the children go to jail. And if you don't like it and you want to kick the children out after 20 days, okay, they can get deported and we can void their asylum thing and they can apply at an embassy later.
It's called the letter of the law.
Oh, yeah, Donald Trump, he played everybody. He played them so hard. I honestly believe now that he created this whole immigration thing just so he could sign this into order and make the Ninth Circuit Court then say, no, you can't keep children with their families. That's wrong. Because you know they're going to try to strike it down now. And he gets to say, hey, I was trying to keep the families together and now you want me to break them up? What's wrong with you? Make up your mind. It's hypocrisy. They don't want to keep the children together. They just want to use it
fine.
as leverage to let them into the general population and let them go.
It's beating them at their own bullshit.
He's an expert at it.
He broke the catch-22. You know, it's like, well, it's calling a bluff, really. That's all he did. Was call your bluff. Yeah.
Yeah. Because all of
Very
these
well.
people with their immigration bullshit, all they do have really is the think of the children argument, the fucking Maud Flanders. Think of the children, think of the children. Well, I prefer fucking Gary Glitter's rationale, which is fuck the children. Not entirely the way he says it, but no, to hell with the children. They're only fucking pawns. They're only fucking human shields. They're only fucking tear-jerking bullshit things just so as people would side with the fucking wrong people. Fuck the children. Don't let them be fucking pawns or fucking anything like that. They're just simply objects.
I do think of the children, and in my opinion, any adult who would break the international law is a criminal and therefore should lose his children. Yeah. Like, that's how I'm thinking of the children. These are people who tried to kill their children.
Yeah, and this is Trump's argument.
Yeah, but who are the people who are responsible for the children? The parents.
Exactly.
And the parents are the ones who are violating the law. And so the parents are putting the children into this situation. So it's not like Trump has invited them to be in this situation.
It's far worse than that.
Parents have done it.
Hold on a sec. Go, Farty.
What everybody's done is they're like, think of the children, think of the children. Trump's gone, yes. And the parents of those children who are screaming that they went through all this hardship, painful torment and trauma to get here, they put their children through that too. So, yeah, let's think about the parents. What a bunch of assholes do that to their kids.
Yeah, well, here's my one problem. The evidence has been pretty solid on this one. If you talk to every woman's shelter along the border, about 80% of all females who cross the border illegally are pretty much raped, regardless of age. All right, so if you're bringing a children across the border, holy crap, seriously. 4 out of 5 of them are raped. I mean, seriously, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you guys are starting to see what we saw fucking years ago, what we tried to tell the Europeans and they didn't listen, and what you guys are just about to get now. Because this isn't new.
Well, I just wanted to talk about how we managed to create this. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But this is why I totally respect the Australian immigration policies, because it was actually about a deterrent to prevent this kind of shit from going on.
Exactly.
It's a very good policy.
And when we turn around,
it makes sense because it prevents abuse.
Yep. And when we said no one's getting in, regardless of your excuse, regardless of your story, too bad, so sad, you're going back home. The minute we said that, that was the instant the boat stopped.
When you mean that by the way, Jacob, when you mean that they voted against it, are you talking about they're voting against ratifying the Donald Trump's executive order or something else? I'll give him a second or two to catch up and answer that. But in my opinion, that Donald Trump did it exactly the way you're supposed to do. You use the letter of the law exactly as it's written, because that's the one thing I've learned about the left is they suck at writing laws. They're always vague. They're always poorly written. And it's when I was working for Bronson Migliaccio, that's how I made my bread and butter, by people making contracts and relying on the law without actually reading what it actually meant. I destroyed so many contracts just because it's like, nope, you wrote it this way and this way. This is totally null and void. It's meaningless. We got out of it. Or, yep, it means this and this. We don't owe you a dime. That's what I did. Oh, they just tried to, yep, it didn't mean, yep, as I predicted, the Democrats are trying to get rid of Donald Trump's, executive order because it doesn't do what they want it to do, which is release immigrants into the wild. And, I think it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Oh, I got to turn live chat on? Okay. Any other thoughts on this topic before we move on?
Oh, man, I could talk about mass migration across Europe.
Oh, if you want to take a few minutes on, it's up to you. I mean, or we can move on to...
Well, no, there's nobody else here. No, move on. Because nobody else will be even giving a shit.
And I'll get to the live chat thing in a second. I didn't save the picture. Okay, crap. But there's a picture, and I'm sure everybody's seen it, there of all these immigrant children in cages, and they're all wrapped up in these Mylar, aluminum foil blankets. And everybody goes, oh, look at this. This is horrible. This is terrible. This is tragic. And they said that picture's from 2014 from the Obama administration. Why didn't any of you give a crap 5 years ago? And everybody said, oh, blah, 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 blah. But I loved it. It was like, they look like they're wrapped up like potatoes. It's awesome. I wish I could find the picture.
But that was a great gotcha moment with, most of these things. It's like, well, that was 2014, wasn't it? And then, the people had to, like, take a fucking rain check. Like, they had to do a Rain Man moment.
Yeah, it's like they're so obsessed with getting him. They do no research at all anymore.
No, but they have no integrity because they don't seem to have any substance. I mean, if they had something to actually fight for, then you think that they would be doing that. But no, all they want to do is wars these days. Politics has become, it really has become a, dick, flapping, piss, shooting.
And the thing is, though, if you really want to roll around in the mud, Donald Trump's better at it than you. Donald Trump thrives in the mud. He loves mudslinging. The man was born of mud. Okay, so if you can't win at his game, and they do nothing but play his game. It's amazing. I mean, I'll be honest. There are parts of me that really loathe and detest some of the things he's done in the past. Personally, I find him a rather detestable person. But as a president, he's amazing. Okay, so I can separate the man and the job. I can do that just fine. I like his results, right. But they can't. They can't do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when it gets to this kind of just pissing contest, and I mean, this isn't really policy that we're talking about, right? There aren't policy things which are actually happening, which are really influencing people's lives. I mean, there's been a few executive orders and things, but I mean, it has become a fucking joke. I mean, we are going into the realms of idiocracy. I mean, Donald Trump.
Oh, no, I see your point on that.
It's hideous, absolutely fucking hideous. That would be classified as being anything remotely statesmanlike.
But on the other hand, if the left had just taken the high road, they might have gotten somewhere. I know exactly how to defeat Trump. It's real easy, and it'll never happen. You ignore him for a month. If the mainstream media ignored Trump for a month, he would completely self-destruct. He just couldn't stand it. No, they can't. They're addicted to him. They can't.
Oh, he wouldn't. Yeah, but that's the thing. He wouldn't need. Yeah, but that's the whole point. That's what you're not getting. Trump doesn't need mainstream media because this is the reason they want to shut down the internet, like Article 13 and stuff. They want to remove the memes. They want to remove the idea that, people like Trump can have an alternative media channel. This is why they want a kind of information format.
It actually sounds more like, to me, it's like a whole bunch of old farts have just realised, holy crap, we're in the internet world and everybody takes a piss out of everything. No, we've got to shut everybody up. Let's put an end to the internet. Excuse me, son, not as easy as you think.
Yeah, well, that's actually, what they're trying to do, right?
That's next up.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, no, next up was Article 13. I believe it's past the first round of votes, so it looks like it's pretty much going to get passed. I don't think it's actually passed yet, but I think that it got voted on and will be passed, so. But yeah, Article 13.
Don't forget, this is not the first time, right? We've had Pippa and SOPA and, the other shit that they keep pushing this shit. First attempt to do this stuff.
My thing is here, I understand how it may force big tech giants to fight it, but I can't imagine that the big tech companies are going to willingly die. Because trust me, if they enforce Article 13, Google does and YouTube does, they're dead. They could not survive because any competitor who says, we're not going to follow Article 13, go and find us on our, our island in the middle of nowhere. because I forget what Pacific Island has, like the abbreviation .tv, but they basically said, come here, build a server farm. We don't regulate anything, and they can't get touched. You know, I think, I mean, how can YouTube fight that? I mean, if YouTube embraces Article 13, that is going to be their death nail, and you're finally going to see these other platforms finally take off. I mean,
that was the case. I thought that Minds would be a lot more significant than it is currently.
Yeah, Minds is slowly creeping up there. They're finally getting there. I'm starting to like them a bit. I think they're starting to get a live stream, but you got to pay for it service. But if YouTube finally goes under, maybe I'll cough up the $6 a month. You know, we'll see. That's right now. That's a lot of money for me. I know that sounds odd. $3, $6. That's a lot of money. Yeah, right now that is. Until I move, yes. So. But right now,
Tuvalu.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Here's the thing. Yeah, this kills memes, because if you don't have permission to the original, well, then you can't modify it and send it out, and the EU will stop it from being published. And well, it's hard to just block everything to the EU and allow the rest of the world to see everything. So it's going. So if they embrace it.
So, but hang on, how are they going to get this permission? Like, you know, so
they won't.
Say, for instance, someone in France watches one of my videos and then takes a snippet out of it, and then what? Some fucking mob's going to arbitrarily say, because you didn't contact this person.
This affects the ISP level. This affects at the route where it gets uploaded from. The server provider who uploads it is required to get information before anything can be uploaded. So you can't upload a picture to the internet without permission first. There is no Photoshop, there's no photo site on the planet that will survive this.
But yeah, but does that mean though that like, where they're enforcing it, am I going to get like millions of fucking spam mail from all these people saying someone took a snippet from one of your YouTube videos?
No, they won't bother to try and contact you at all. They'll just tell the person uploading it, you've got to pay a fine.
Well, they're already doing this. They're already doing this. There's companies in Europe that are already doing this.
Yeah, but the EU will be doing this for them.
Striking.
The EU will be doing this for them. They're just doing it for everybody. This is corporate welfare.
Yeah, but if you listen to Alinity, this chick that just got in the shit with fucking PewDiePie, that's exactly the way that fucking she reckons it works too, that they went and did it on her behalf. But then if you looked into that story, you'd know that she was...
Exactly, yeah, they're kind of white knighting everybody. You know, it's like, well, we're going to do it. And, okay, if we, you know, if we happen to, you know, take out somebody that's not, you know, that was unnecessary, then so be it, because it's for the greater good, right? That's the whole point, right? It's the greater good. It's the collectivism bullshit.
It's a religion. It's a religion. Mm-hmm. The greater good, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I see, the thing is though, any company that enforces this, they're going to lose market share. They're just gonna wither and die. So I mean, that's why I said I don't think the EU is long for the world, because this is, unless they're going to use that army to build walls and keep everybody in, it's going to be a problem.
Well, I don't know. You see, the problem is that Europe has a very, you know, a very significant history of fascism. You know, Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal. I mean, these are all, you know, fascistic hereditary ties. So, yeah, people should be worried.
And they're all dumb enough to do it again.
Is when it breaks up, like I said, I just fucking Britain's going to be left on its arse again, because we're going to have to deal with these cunts. And I mean, the reason we created an empire, we went out and we didn't bother dealing with these cunts, is because they are a pain in the arse. You know.
Well, at least you won't have to explain this war to the Australians.
You know, Aussies, I swear to God, you know, the Anzacs and stuff, we owe you a fucking debt of gratitude.
Yeah, we know.
Well, moving on. Let's get into some more fun stuff.
But just hang on, just real quick on the thing with the Anzacs and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's the reason why you have bastard children. So when you're in the shit, you got someone to look to.
Exactly. Any rate, hilarious hot dog water turns heads at Vancouver Food Festival. Yes, only on the West Coast in Vancouver, British Columbia, can you have the opportunity to buy the most unusual health food, yes, that's right, you read that correctly, health food product ever created, unfiltered hot dog water. Gluten-free, keto-compatible, rich in sodium and electrolytes, and bottled in a sleek glass bottle, available at the low, low price of $38 a bottle. You can buy hot dog water.
Coca-Cola's been doing that for decades, but they've been playing the long game. They've been selling tap water for a couple of bob.
You know, when I saw asparagus water, when I saw asparagus water, I thought that was the end. But what the hell?
Fiji water. I wouldn't drink that Fijian shit in it.
Marketing the you know, that particular water, the hot dog water.
This is
how are they marketing it? What's their kind of tagline? What's their marketing policy?
It's expensive. That's their marketing. We're expensive. I really think this is just to be bought by really rich people who want to be arrogant.
It looks like it's got a dildo. It looks like it's got a dildo in the bottle. Like the manufacturers are going, after you drink this, you can go off and fuck yourself too.
Yeah, it looks like a dildo in a. It looks like a floating waggly dildo in a bottle. It really does.
We've tons and tons of lube.
Yes, actually, that's another way of looking at it. It's a dildo in a bottle of lube. I mean, really, that's what it looks like. Chilled on ice. I mean, crap.
Hey, and the product name could be, do you want some lube with your dildo?
This is just, this is the West Coast. This is the West Coast. It goes all the way up to Canada and all the way down to the end, to the tip, right up to Mexico. It's the whole West Coast is just full of crazy people with no sense of reality. It's this whole postmodern, got to destroy everything. There is no objective reality bullshit.
Well, I'm wondering when Limp Bizkit's going to cotton onto this and sue, because, like, yeah, I don't know whether it was their band or album or the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
Interesting. I completely forgot about that.
Chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water.